Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while and I'm really excited because today we're launching the last product this year, and it's the product we've been waiting for quite some time, and I'm really excited to talk about Kalanos oil today. So let's start with the presentation, and we're gonna start with metabolic syndrome because it's a huge challenge these days, probably as you know it, and it's a cluster of conditions, right? It's not just one specific condition. It's a number of conditions like high blood sugar or elevated blood pressure, and collectively they heighten these conditions. They heighten the likelihood of such diseases as heart diseases and diabetes. And when we mention metabolic syndrome nowadays, we all we're talking about basically an epidemic worldwide on a global scale, because according to some data, around 30% of the population, they show signs of metabolic syndrome. And yeah, we need to challenge this situation somehow, but we've got our own perspectives on that as a wellness company, as a healthy lifestyle company, right? So yeah, risk factors. When we're talking about metabolic syndrome, yeah, the risk factors are quite obvious, and well, sedentary behavior. I'm sitting here right now most of the time, and probably you are. Poor diet choices, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to resist sometimes, and it's hard to, follow the right guidelines, like Mediterranean diet, let's say, every day. Inadequate sleep, been there, know it. Genetic predisposition, by the way, excessive alcohol use and smoking, and high stress levels. Well, most of us, we are in a risk zone based on those factors. So yeah, we need to think about prophylactics and what do we have. And let's be really straightforward. So there are key strategies for preventive metabolic syndrome, and probably all of you know all the strategies. They are very straightforward, but easier said than done. Like, adopt a balanced diet that limits sugar intake. Yeah, sugar is one of the major enemies, unlike salt, and I've been talking about it for quite some time. So yeah, sugar is our real enemy, and it's not easy, to fight with sugar, but we need to find some ways. So yeah, limit sugar, engage in regular physical exercise. Well, it's up to us, right? And we need to make some effort to make some physical, at least the basic stuff every morning. What kind of physical exercise we're doing, it's really important. The next one is effectively manage stress. Well, once again, it's easier said than done, and stress is everywhere these days. But once again, we need to think about some strategies to manage our stress. Otherwise, it will affect our health a great deal. And maintain a consistent sleep routine, avoid harmful behaviors such as smoking and excessive alcohol consumption. Well, yeah, if we follow those 5 rules, it's quite safe to say that we decrease the possibility of any kind of a metabolic syndrome. But along with those easy to understand but quite difficult to really follow rules and strategies, there are some scientific advancements, and we need to be updated, stay updated. And you know that Coral Club is a company, as a brand, we are always like leading the field, leading the industry with our solutions, with our approaches to creating state-of-the-art dietary supplements, right? So what do we have as a special nutrients which can help us, you know, along those strategies, you know, which can help us in our fight with metabolic syndrome as a prophylactics, right? And here it is. One of the discoveries, one of the scientific advancements is really a calanus oil, an oil of a very interesting creature. And you know, you might see the creature because it's if you watched SpongeBob SquarePants, and probably you watched SpongeBob SquarePants, because the major evil antagonist of SpongeBob SquarePants is a plankton, right? You remember this green plankton. So basically, this plankton is calanus. It's got the same shape. So, and it's evil in a cartoon. But in our case, it's a tiny little creature which is really, really amazing, and I will explain you why. And you know, when we approach creating this new dietary supplements, new products, these days, we should have in mind so many factors. One of them is you should answer the question which is there. And this time it's metabolic syndrome. So we need to find a way to help you to have a medium of prophylactics for metabolic syndrome, to enrich your diet with something which can be helpful in this particular aspect. Another challenge is sustainability, because the more we understand the nature of Earth and our human influence, the more we understand the need, the urge to find sustainable, solutions, because we, as a humankind, we keep ruining our planet in so many ways. And so for us, it's really important as a company, it's really important to find a sustainable sources of nutrients for you. And calanus, this tiny zooplankton, this tiny little creature, so it's basically a tiny version of a shrimp, let's say it's 3 millimeters. It's an amazing source of special type of omega-3s. And well, it looks like this basically, and it lives in chilly waters of North Atlantic, and this is the very reason why it's so special, because if we look at the contents of, yes, here it is, of this little creature, it's 60% of it, of dry weight of calanus is lipids, is fats, right? And 90% of those fats is wax esters. And wax esters is a special type of lipids which is really, really interesting. and is quite different from the lipids that you already know, like phospholipids, like ethyl esters, like triglycerides, right? Like a TG form we use in our new omega, right? TG. So it's different. But how it is different, we'll talk about it later. But it's important to note that Calanus, this small creature, is not only wax esters, but it's got this astaxanthin. And astaxanthin is a quite famous antioxidant. And the color, this characteristic color, this deep ruby color of this tiny copepod, tiny zooplankton, is because of astaxanthin. And another interesting ingredient is a stearidonic acid, which got it's very beneficial for our health, overall health, because usually in just a regular omega you won't find SDA, you will find for sure EPA and DHA, but not the case with SDA. And SDA is also special for Calanus. So yeah, it's got very interesting ingredients, and basically because of this, like fats, lipids, it can leave this creature, can live in cold waters of North Atlantic. Because it's basically those fats are the source of energy for this tiny creature, and when it hibernates, it takes energy from these fats, lipids, and they are digested very, very, very slowly, unlike phospholipids, unlike other types of omega-3. And it's like usually when I talk about ingredients, particular ingredients and delivery forms of particular dietary supplements, I say, oh yeah, it's digested very quickly, and it's really important, But in this case, this type of omega-3s, once again, is wax esters, and it's very interesting feature is digested really slowly. It gives us a very unique thing, which is this lipid, this type of omega can, as it is slowly digested, can reach the lower parts of intestine. And in those lower parts of intestines, it interacts with a particular receptor, which is GPR120. Well, it gets a little bit, tricky here, but it's the probably major information about premium plankton oil. So this possibility, this feature rather of wax esters is the major, I think, feature of Calanus oil, because this receptor controls the production of insulin. So this is how we can control, or rather we can use Calanus oil as a prophylactics of metabolic syndrome. So yeah, the most complex part is over, and hopefully you can understand and get the idea. And also I mentioned antioxidant, I mentioned astaxanthin, though it's not the big portion of astaxanthin, but still it works as an antioxidant, which is really important. And now we have a new product based on this material, based on this Calanus oil. But like always with Coral Club, it's not just any generic ingredient, right? It's a special ingredient from Norway. And there is this technology used, talking about sustainability. It's really important these days, like I mentioned, is to find the most sustainable ingredients that you can find, you know, to ease the burden that we have on Earth, on Mother Earth. And Calanus oil, the amazing thing about these tiny creatures, that the biomass is really huge. So there are a lot of them flowing in the sea, and they live for around a year, 1 year, and they reproduce really quickly. So if you take some from the sea, then they reproduce really, really quickly. So it's an ultra sustainable and very pure form, a source of nutrients. Why it's pure? Probably I explained earlier, the smaller the source of nutrient, probably the more pure it is. So what is zooplankton? Zooplankton is a food of fish, right? So fish eats zooplankton, and zooplankton eats phytoplankton in the sea, you see? So yeah, it's a really small and it's a very pure, because it is small in a way, but also because it lives in the pristine waters of North Atlantic, and the way it is harvested is also really important. So it is very gentle way to harvest it, and no chemical solvents are used like they are used in many cases when it comes to like traditional omega-3s. But anyway, here the chemical solvents aren't used, and it makes it really pure, and it lets to preserve all the beneficial ingredients of Calanus. Copypods, Calanus creatures, tiny creatures. So yeah, it's really important, sustainability and purity. So here with Calanus, it became possible. It's not always as like easy to connect all the dots, okay, so we are working on a product, is supposed to be ultra sustainable, and it's supposed to answer the modern question, like a metabolic syndrome, and it's supposed to be pure and filled with potent ingredients, with natural ingredients, beneficial ingredients. And in case with Calanus oil, we were able to connect all the dots, and of course it's a patented ingredient. It's Zuka. It's ingredient by a Norwegian company, and we've been discussing the launch of Premium Plankton Oil with this company for quite some time, and it took us basically around 2 years, I believe, to actually prepare this product for the launch. It's been quite a journey, so we've been looking for, not only for the best source of this ingredient, but also for the best manufacturer where we can encapsulate this product, this very specific ingredient, and eventually we managed to launch this product, and I'm really, really happy because finally we have another source of omega-3s. And Zuka. So Zuka is a brand, and you will have this brand on your product jar, because it's important, as you know, that we are working only with the best providers of ingredients on a worldwide scale. Yeah, so working with Zuka, collaborating with Zuka, gives us the opportunity to be sure that it's ultra sustainable and it's harvested in the most um, right and correct way and pure way. And like I always do, I'm showing you the contents of the ingredients of the product. So it's Calanus oil. And basically, it's just Calanus oil, which also has not only wax esters like EPA, DHA, SDA, as I mentioned, but also astaxanthin and vitamin E. But basically, it's just a pure form of Calanus oil, 500 milligrams per capsule, and it's supposed to be taken 2 capsules per day. So 1 gram of Calanus oils per day. And yeah, the question which probably ask yourself already is, what's the difference with of Calanus oil between Calanus oil and traditional omegas? So we have omegas, right? We have a wonderful product, TG Omega, in our product range, and its major feature that digestion is quite rapid, and it's very good. The prompt absorption is really good for our heart health, for cognitive health, and there are a lot of benefits from taking like traditional omega. While in case of premium plankton oil, it's this very special feature. The slow digestion gives us the opportunity to interact with GPR 120, basically with this receptor, and be a good prophylactics for metabolic syndrome. And we can combine those omegas, we can take them simultaneously, or can take them like 1 month it's TG and another month it's premium plankton oil. But right now you have a choice, and right now you have a solution to strengthen your strategies for avoiding metabolic syndrome. And if you ask me who benefit most from this product, from this particular product, I think that like if you are 30 plus, probably you will need it from time to time, just to be on the safe side, to be sure that that you have enriched your diet with something which can really help you to avoid metabolic syndrome. But also, we don't forget all those 5 strategies, because no way if you sleeping routine is bad, if you drink alcohol every day, if you eat snacks every day, you cannot just rely on taking supplements. It's just a part of a bigger approach, this holistic approach, where you change the way you act on a daily basis, starting with the morning routine, the what you eat, how you deal with stress, and supplements can be a part of it, but not replace everything else. It's really important to understand. But still, premium plankton oil is a new product, and there are not many products with Calanus oil on the market right now, and not many manufacturers are as strict about quality and about the usage of patented ingredient as we are. So be sure you've got an amazing product. And also you ask a lot, and so we prepare in our presentations, and you will have all the links in description of all this video as well, by the way, for the clinical studies. Clinical studies showing that really this ingredient is very beneficial and for different types of applications actually, but they're all connected with this metabolic syndrome. Like for example, we have a study showing that it's reduced the formation of atherosclerotic lesions, making it an effective and safe dietary regulator. And also it's got a favorable impact on glucose metabolism and insulin resistance in obese patients. And obesity, you know, the obesity along with metabolic syndrome is the epidemic of the modern world, basically. So yeah, you've got all those links, so you can check them. But I think it's really easy to understand that basically it's a type of omega which comes from an ultra-sustainable, tiny copepod, tiny creature, pure creature, harvested in North Atlantic by a Norwegian company. With a special feature of very slow digestion, which is really important, which is crucial for prophylactics of metabolic syndrome. So something like this one. So, and if you can, you know, if you can present a product using just one sentence, I think that would be the best thing to do, because people these days, they don't have many time to understand actually a lot of stuff about the product. They need, you know, just the major feature, and this is pretty much it. So you've got the new product, and here's the literature. You've got the new product, Premium Plankton Oil, and it's available in all our European countries, I guess, and in United States as well. So yeah, please try it, get back to me with the feedback, and now you know that we have another type of omega. Like I promised you, you remember there will be different types of omega. So you have DHA for kids. It's an amazing version of omega because it's tasty and it's in a special form of lipids, which, you know, increase the bioavailability around 40-50%. And it's just aimed for kids because it's DHA, which helps the cognitive health, right? It's very beneficial for cognitive health. And we have a TG form omega, like a regular omega, which is based on a Solutex patented ingredient, capsuled and in Spain, which is really amazing product also. And now we have a premium omega, and so now you have all omegas you can dream of in one place, super quality, like always, and we will continue. We will continue to do what we're doing with you, hopefully. So please enjoy our products. And once again, those strategies, they sound like a chore. I understand, like once again, let me show them to you, because it's not easy. It's not easy, life's not easy, but once again, make small steps every day and, you know, do your homework for, you know, being closer to those 5 steps every day, and add Premium Plankton Oil just to help you a bit in your fight for a healthier life, for a more enjoyous life. That's it. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye bye.